Okay, welcome Team Alchemy. Welcome to our accountability Zoom. My name is Stephanie Dawn, and I am leading today for Ms. Rachel Balansat, who needed to take a step back for today. And this is the beauty of the network marketing model that we have, that when our upline needs to step away, downline steps in. And this is what happened for me last week with Tal. I'm just going to give it up to my gorgeous goddess Tal over there, who I was flying to LA on Friday, and she stepped in and led for me. And it really helped me out. And it was really good for you, Tal, to step in and be you. And because here's what I want for my whole team. I'd like for you all, Estelle, Amelia, Zaya is going to lead a segment for us today. I want you all to be leading one of these Zooms, whether it's this one or the Team Radiant Zoom, because I want you to feel what it feels like to be leading for a team that is all your downline. All right. And the excitement that will generate when you start imagining, whoa, wait. So I could be leading this and it's all my downline listening to me talk, listening to me lead, because we are in the business of leading, of raising leaders. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with you all. My Team Radiance folks that are here. And that's what I know Rachel and I are doing in concert together here for Team Alchemy. So for those of you who are here or listening to the recording, so we had a little pre-show before we started the recording, and I got excited because I want to bring back night owling. So what is night owling, you might ask? Night owling is what we used to do when we used to gather together at convention after the day's events. After you've had dinner, we'd all go back to our upline's hotel room, and we'd all sit down around, if they had a suite, or just all around the bed or whatever, like we just all sit and we'd all chat and we'd all connect, and we'd really tune into the wisdom of our upline. And, at this point, 5.5 years in, I've got some wisdom that might not come out in a Zoom like this, right? Which is, we have a plan today. We're going to be hearing from Zaya about GoPro, and we're going to be talking about the Renew You. And so we've got a plan in place, right? So it might, dropping into some deeper themes doesn't ordinarily happen on a regular training Zoom, but when you're night owling and you're riffing and you don't know exactly what anyone's going to ask a question about or what's going to be present on their heart or their mind, it creates this beautiful intimacy. And my team knows this because I talk about it all the time, we're in the business of networking. And when we're in the business of networking, relationships matter. They really matter. How connected we are, how well we know each other, it matters, right? Nirankar and I have had some amazing touch-ins recently, right? Where she's really felt my heart and I really felt her heart and we've really connected. Tal and I just got to spend the weekend in LA and it was beautiful. And we got to have night owling with peppermint bark shake. Which was just heavenly, it was heavenly. So those moments that aren't, I'm not on stage, she's, not training or coaching, like we're just hanging out in our robes and our PJs, connecting. So Rachel and I are going to be creating some night owling events. So prepare for those to be coming up during this holiday season. All right. It's the time to drop in, tune in, connect in, and feel us, feel our hearts, feel who we are as human beings. And I personally feel like we need more of that in this day and age, right? We need to be tuning into each other and listening to each other. There's a lot coming at us all the time. I'll speak for myself. It's hard for me to integrate it all. And this is so much more than business, right? Some of you long haulers, you Purium long haulers, this is so much more than business. And so night owling lets us go beyond. We're still talking about the business, but we talk about things that might not come up on a normal training call. So I'm excited for us to do that. I'm excited for us to, who knows, come back together in person again one day, unconvention, convention. I'm praying for that because it was how I built my business. I built my business with live events. We're learning how to pivot. We're learning how to build our business using Zoom events. Nirankar is creating with her beautiful mother. Do me a favor and text Midge if you would, Nirankar, and have her hop on this call. Nirankar and Midge have not just one Zoom, not just two Zooms, not just three, but I think five. Is it five? Five events, Zoom events with specific themes that they are doing together over the next several weeks. And their inspiration is getting me inspired and excited. And I don't know if I tried to the other day as I was walking through the airport there in Carbon. I'm like, you ladies are really inspiring me. I hope that text went through. This downline inspires me all the time, and this is what we can do for each other. So follow what Nirankar and Midge are doing. Follow them on Instagram. Maybe Nirankar, you could put your Instagram handle in the chat, and and then
I need to put my puppy in her crate.
Oh, okay. Put your puppy in your crate first, and then put your handle and Midge's handle, because you got to see Midge. So Midge has not really been a social networker, and she's learning, and she's fearless, and you've got to watch her videos on Instagram. They are adorable. She's finding her voice. She's finding her power. She's retired, and she's coming out of retirement with Purium to help people, because Midge cares about helping people, and she's cared about help now for decades. So I'm inspired. All right. So today we're going to talk about, so several of you were tuning into GoPro. GoPro just happened this past weekend, and I was in the travel zone. So I didn't drop into the degree that I would have liked to, but Ms. Zaya May invested in it and showed up for it and took notes. And so I need some water. So with that, I'm going to pass the baton to you, Zaya May, and I'm going to get some water, and I'll be right back, and I'll be listening.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So I am excited and grateful and nervous all at the same time to be here doing this. GoPro was really so amazing to be able to do it this way this year. Usually people go to Las Vegas, you get a room, you get a bunch of people, you have dinners and all that. So it was really wonderful to be able to be here at home and to still experience the excitement of the whole thing. So first I want to ask, how many of you have heard of Eric Worre and GoPro before this? If you can drop me a 1 in the chat. Okay, good. All righty, so I thought that I would first give you a little background about Eric Worre. So he, at the age of 23, was a junior college dropout, and he had no real marketable skills, but he found network marketing, and it changed his life, and it changed his future. And during his network marketing career, he has earned more than 15 million in commissions, built sales organizations of more than 500,000 distributors in more than 60 countries. Eric is one of the most respected, trusted, and sought after network marketing coaches in the world. He and his wife, Marina, both created GoPro. And in 2020, when the whole COVID thing happened, people thought that he and Marina were just crazy when they decided to build this $20 million state-of-the-art studio. And I put some pictures in the accountability group so that you could kind of get an idea of what it looked like and how it felt. So in 2020, the virtual GoPro became the largest gathering of network marketing professionals in the history of the profession, which is amazing. So even though I was home and sitting in my living room, I could still feel the energy because they were energized. They had music playing. You could see people on the screen in all the different rooms and stuff. They would get you up dancing, clapping, cheering. So it was just like you wanted to participate because you could see other people doing it, so it just for 3 days, it was like, yeah. They gave away prizes. And it was really exciting because one of our own, Lucy Mazes, she won a prize and they put the square on her and she was dancing in her living room. And then Alec, who's on Tracy's team, they would put us in breakout rooms and then they would they'd ask us questions, have us questions to work on, like, we do here, and come back. And then they would pick 3 people or so, and Eric would do just a little coaching. And Alec was one of the people that he picked. So it was like Purium, 2 people Purium, two Purium people that got featured out there. So that was really exciting for me to see. Let's see. So they had like top network marketing speakers like Tony Robbins. And if you've ever heard of Tony Robbins, put a 2 in the chat. Very cool. So some of the other top professionals that they had that you may not have heard of is Ed Milet, Grant Cardone, Eric Thomas, and Fraser Brooks. So if you know who Fraser Brooks is, drop me a 3 in the chat. I know that we've done some work with him before and he's really great, so he was there. So some of my favorite women that spoke this weekend, professionals, were Emily Vavra, Stormy Wellington, she is just woo! Jessie Lee Ward, Angel Fletcher, Lisa Nichols, and Barry Baumgardner. So I'm going to start off with some inspirations that Eric Worre gave us. And if you have pen and paper, you may want to take some notes. So Eric says that an entrepreneur is someone who focuses on solutions and not problems, that they go all out and they put in the work. And he says to say yes, tell the world, and then figure it out. So he asks us, who do you want to become? Like in your network marketing career, in your life, in your business, with your team, your family, your friends. Then he says, make a decision. What your dream is. Who do you want to be? What you want in your life. He also says that this is the best profession to express your dreams, that there's no better opportunity than now, that the whole world is searching to be able to work from home. So we have a golden opportunity, that this is a gift. So we should be busy, active, and talking to people all the time. And that people, and you've heard this before, people are praying for a solution, and we all have the solution. So be proud that we have this gift. He also says that decision is everything. And then he gave 7 things that make a difference. So the first one is your environment. It has a dramatic impact on you. What is your environment like? People, sounds, where you live, your community that supports you. The second one is skills. And he says, learn the skills, learn the fundamentals. To inviting prospects, educating the world, following up, all of those skills are important. The third one was adapt to change quickly. He says that the best entrepreneurs adapt quickly. So he's talking about like utilizing social media. If you got to learn TikTok, if you got to learn how to do reels, all of that, adapt quickly. The fourth one was self-investment. You, we, each are our assets. So we've got to learn the skills and the excellence and to operate at our prime. Number 5 was mentors and mastership. So he says that mentoring is having a mentor is a priceless thing. And he asked us, what did we think? Was it more beneficial to have a mentor that you could like sit down with some time, chat with or wherever, or was it a virtual mentor? And so he asked us, what do we think? So how many of you, do you put me a 4 in the chat if you think having a mentor that you can actually sit down with is the best way to go? Okay, so most of us said that. We were like, yeah, that one. He says, nope, that a virtual mentor is the better one that you get to spend time with, because a person, you can only spend time with them here or there. You might see them once, you might see them the next year. A virtual mentor, you can play a podcast every day. You can get on a Zoom. You can, if you have a CD, you can do it every day so that you can get it all the time. He says like Jim Rohn was his mentor and he listened to him all the time. And he finally got to meet him and hang out with him. He said, and then it was like another year before he actually got to see him again. So that was, I found that really, really interesting. So number 6, speed. And we hear this all the time, that speed is the key, that success loves speed. Number 7 was obsession. He says, obsession in the time that you have to put into your business. It needs to consume your brain. That greatness requires a level of obsession about what you want to do. He says, acceleration, think bigger, go do it and play big. All righty, so that was some of Eric's. My next one was a woman named Emily Vavra. She said that being inspired is far different than being transformed. She said you can decide to play full out at any time in your life, but learn how to play full out and work harder. That transformation is when you step through and not retreat back. I'll say that one more time. Transformation is when you step through and not retreat back. So she also said for us to look at what we're focused on. And if you want to be great, you have to choose. Choose what is essential. Is this supporting where I'm trying to go? Is it supporting my dreams? Does this make sense? What do you need to leave behind? Let the old die and the new you be born. The other thing that I found very interesting too was most of the people had a connection to God and spirituality. And so she said, God will only change you if you change you. So you actually have to take the action. You can't just sit back and say, okay, I'm waiting, you know, I'm listening, but you've got to do something. Change through action. So also, as she said, what must you leave behind? She was like, things and people that are negative influences. Settling for a mediocre life, settling for things that don't fulfill you. Leave behind excuses. That is a big one for me. I've really had to learn to stop making excuses and to just do it. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Can I just stop you for a second? Because this is rich. This is really rich. And you've had an amazing year. Hence the fact that you're actually leading on a Zoom right now. Will you please talk about what shifted for you this year that we are getting to witness you showing up in the way that you're showing up right now?
Okay, so when COVID happened, I've really decided that it was a gift because I had time to sit down and look at myself. I have been doing Purium since November of 2016, and I have not ranked to where I want to be. And I had to really sit and look at why, and look at what was in me, what was I not doing, what do I need to do, and look at how I can release the blocks to move forward. So I started doing a deep dive into my spirituality, meditating. I really started trying to show up more, to say yes more. When they said do a reel, okay, I'm gonna do a reel, do more lives, do interviews. So it's been a year of saying yes and looking at different mentors that they said, Tori Washington, doing more stuff for my spiritual work, looking at the Fraser Brooks stuff, and working with like Glenneth as my accountability partner. We try and keep each other in line, getting back more in touch with Stephanie, and just really deciding, I really made a decision that it is time for me to make a difference and change my life, that I can no longer live the way that I've been living. And when Stephanie said, Eric has 7 days of free training, I was like, I'm in. I was home, I was recovering from my eye surgery. So it was like perfect for me to do. And then when it came up that we could buy a ticket for like under $200, I was like, I'm doing it. I'm taking those 3 days. And Sunday, it was like, Eric Worre, Stephanie Dawn, Eric Worre, Stephanie Dawn. So I did both. I listened, I got in my car, I listened, I got to see Stephanie and Tal and meet Tal's new BP, and we powwowed and had lunch, and it was really uplifting. And then I got back in my car and put Eric Worre back in my head and went home and finished it out and was like, woo! So yeah, that's my journey. That's why I'm actually here and doing this today. And it was like, because I know I can do it. I was like, I know I can.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to say, as your upline, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for taking yourself on to the degree that you have. It's been amazing to witness, and I'm excited. I'm actually feeling like, okay, like we're really, this is happening, like it's happening because it really is happening. You are meeting yourself, you looked in the mirror and you said, this isn't working. And you're doing all the things to transmute and create the Zaya that you're here to be, the light that you're here to be. Right. So I'm proud of you. I'm excited for 2022. Thank you for leading our team back into GoPro, I should say, because we've done it periodically on and off over the years. But I honestly think, I'll just, say this to everybody, but specifically to Team Radiance, this has got to be a non-negotiable for us every year. It needs to be what we do because it is so uplifting. It is so inspiring. So thank you for leading the charge, Zaya, and please continue with your presentation.
Okay. Yay. So let me see. Where was I? She said, right. So she said things and people that have negative influences, settling for a mediocre life, things that don't fulfill you, leave behind excuses, and how all that started. And what must you do? So you must realize that you have been giving amazing gifts from your creator. And some of us are like, the weird one in our family, or the black sheep of the family or something. And she said, the black sheep of the family becomes the goat, the greatest of all time. I'm like, woohoo. And what makes you say yes and then cross the line? All righty, so that's what I've got from Emily. Next, Eric Worre talked about building your rock star brand. They all talk about, everybody has a brand, and that is really important for us to build. So he says there are all different types, and he gave us some pillars. So one thing is, what are your standards? What are you known for? When people think of you, what do they think of? The second one was energy, which is a huge part of your brand. So he's like, we've got introverts, we've got extroverts. He said he's an introvert, but he has to bring himself out when he's doing his GoPros, and then he goes home and he chills out. And he's kind of big, but then you've got people like Tony Robbins and Fraser Brooks and Jessie Lee Ward, So it's like, look at who you are, and then bring that out. Because like we listened to Barry Baumgartner, and she really, really was inspirational, but she was a little bit more calm, but she really drew you in, and you got who she was and what she had to say. And while it's in my head, every person that came out had a story. They started from way back from where they came from. People had alcoholic mothers, fathers, somebody was in jail, so they crafted their story. And that's what I know we're always talking about, crafting your story. And I've been really working on that. So that's also part of our brand. So he says, yes. Also, he says, what do you exude? What is your vibration? What is your velocity? Number 3 is what you say. So how you say it. Like, are you empathetic? How do you express how you feel? Are you an encourager? What you do impacts people. Number 4 is what you do. So that also helps, that impacts how people see you. Number 5, once again, the speed in which you do things. Get it done, turn the idea into reality fast. Number 6 was the passion in which you do things. It says motion creates emotion. He says, what type of energy defines you now? Is it positive or negative? Happy or sad? Thoughtful or scatterbrained? Spiritual or agnostic? Energetic or slow? Encouraging or discouraging? Hyper or calm? Passionate or apathetic? He also did say one time, forget that whole thing about the turtle and slow and steady wins the race. He's like, no. You got to get out there. You got to take action, speed. So he told his airplane story. It takes you speed when you're in the airplane to get off the ground and go. It's like, if you just have a little bit going on, the airplane's never going to take off. So in your business, it's never going to take off if you just go slow and steady, which I feel like is how I had been going in the past. And now that is changing. So 7, what else he said? Get past your fear of putting yourself out there. So this is like, we've got our widen your reach and all of those great things that get us out there and makes a difference. 7 was our appearance. So to decide how we want to show up as leaders. How do we want to show up? Everything needs to be on purpose. The power of intention, do everything on purpose. How do you look? Your clothing, is it sloppy? Is it tight? Is it colorful? What's your hair, makeup, grooming like? What are your accessories? How do you want your team to show up? Like he said, so there's someone who she's pink and all of her team always, they show up in a group with something pink on. So how do you want to look? How does your group want to look? And then also slogans and logos. If you have slogans or logos that represent who you are. Number 8 was media. Does your media reflect your brand? Is it reflected on all platforms? The logo, the color scheme, the font, the photos, photography, videography. He says your brand can be anything you want it to be. So, you know, your names, your logos, your language are all part of your brand and how you look and how you present yourself to the world. Okay. Next was a woman named Anna Cantera. She said, have faith, trust that you can make it. And if you believe you can do it, you can do it. Believe in yourself, your leaders, your products, and from belief comes your passion. She also said, take massive action. We've heard that before, that it makes things go. Take any action. She also said, lead with love. Everyone is important. Never quit and follow your vision. Be willing to learn. You can make your dreams come true. The next one was Ed Milet. He's just got big energy. He's really, really, really inspiring. So he asked, are you ready to transform your life? He says, you were born to do something great with your life. It's not an accident. You are not an accident. You are one person away from transforming your life. Also says, this was another one. He had a lot of heartfelt stuff. He says, how does your heart feel when you help someone change their lives? He says that everyone wants someone to care about them and believe in them and love them. And that it's not about making money, that the key is to being a great recruiter is helping others. And then the money comes, that's the blessing after. But it's definitely about us helping others. How can we serve others? So he also says that you got to get more on fire about what you're doing, to be evangelical about your cause. What is your product? What do people want? And he says it's happiness. People want happiness, that we sell happiness, that this is a happiness business. So he said, look at McDonald's. They have the worst food in the world, but they make tons and tons of money. And what do they sell? The Happy Meal. And then we have Coke and a smile, happy. He also said that Apple, they started off with looking how to name their brand, and they picked A because it was the first letter in the alphabet. But then they picked Apple because apples made Steve happy. And then we all have these songs, these happy songs, because I'm happy. Yes, I'm happy. Woo! So he says happiness, sell happiness. He also asked us, if today was your final day, are you satisfied with the chapter in your book? Are you going to be satisfied with the chapter of your book? Act as if you have one more day. So what would you do in that one more day? Do something great. Take some risks. He says, change another person's life, and you have the power in your hands to help change another person's life. That it's all happening for you. Then he asked, what's the one habit all people who have failed have in common? What do you think that is? Put in the chat. What's the one habit that all people who have failed have in common? Yes, they quit. Quitting. He says, so you can't quit, that habit makes you lose. Stay until you get good at it. And he also says, you can get unlimited wealth if you can give value to more people. You can get unlimited wealth if you can give more value to more people. All righty. So my next person is Jessie Lee Ward, and she is on Instagram, and she's a hot spitfire. I really love her, and she works a lot with Fraser Brooks. So it's Jessie Lee Ward. So she says, everything has a call to action. So like when we're doing our posts or our reels or our stories, she says to always ask something to make people drop a comment. Ask them to drop a yes or drop a heart or a smiley face. And then make sure that you comment back to people and go to people's pages and check them out and, you know, like something on their pages to just get you involved with more people, bring more people into following you. She also says words and quotes. Find quotes that you resonate with and use those and put them up in your posts and your stories. They can be funny or serious, but use those. All righty, so that was Jessie Lee. Then there was Lisa Nichols, who she was really, really, really incredible. She asked, how does it feel to reap your harvest? Are you willing to water with consistency and with patience? Give yourself 1,000-second chances. It's like, so if something doesn't work, take another chance, take another chance. She says, abundance is your birthright. Happiness is your birthright. It is your birthright to have more. She also says, don't worry about your flying, just trust your get up. So if you fall down, get up again. Fall down, get up again. She says, you can be committed to your get up. And she told us a story about a Tonka truck. She told us how she used to buy these cheap little trucks for her son, and because he would always break them. In a day or two, they'd be gone and she'd break them. And one day she went into the store to buy another one, and she heard the voice in her head from God say, buy a Tonka truck. She's like, what? It says, buy a Tonka truck. So she went and she looked at it and she's like, oh no, this is too much money. She's like, I'm not getting this. I'm going to get this regular one that I normally get because he's just going to break it anyway. And she heard that voice again and said, no, don't do it. Buy the Tonka truck. So she brought it and she's like, okay. First thing they got home, the kid took it and smashed it on the floor, and it got back up and it went zzz. Then he took it and he threw it against the wall. It fell, it flipped itself up, and it said zzz. And it kept going on. It kept going on. The kid grew up. He passed it down to his brother, and it's still, the brother would throw it. It kept going. So she's like, be like a Tonka truck. Just get up and keep going every single time. I was like, I got to go buy a Tonka truck. She also says, if you're going through something, don't stop, just keep going through it. She says, your life was put here so that you can inspire us, so that we can inspire other people. That's why we are put here. It's not in the easy that inspires us. It's when you navigate through things that you thought you couldn't get through. So it's not in the easy that inspires us, but it's when you navigate through the things that you thought you couldn't get through. Kind of like when I had the flood in my house this year. She also says, you've planted your seed, so dare not leave it untilled. You're harvesting a life, you're harvesting a legacy. If it gets hard, get stronger. You are evidence of what's possible. So a setback, she says, a setback is just a setback. Can you see through to the other side? All righty. So the last person that I'm going to talk about today, because I had so much stuff and trying to figure out who to pick, but this other person was Eric Thomas, who I've seen before, and he's considered the hip hop preacher. He's just really cool, and he came from a dark place as a kid and everything, and he just kept pulling himself up, and now he's huge. He's one of the most sought after people also. So Eric says your presence makes a difference in the world. And he says to stop playing small, play big, think big, act big, be big. He says, stop making excuses, just like we heard before. Stop making excuses. We only get one life, so go all out. Take risks, take advantage of everything, shock yourself. He says, take ownership, will attract the right people. Be phenomenal. He also says, destroy limiting beliefs. If you're not what you want to be, it's because of what you believe about yourself. So if you're not what you want to be, it's because of what you believe about yourself. So shock yourself. I can do whatever it is I say I can do. He has a lot of affirmations. He says, I am valued and I am valuable. My presence adds flavor. I am unique. I am gifted. I will amaze myself. I must be amazing. It's my turn. I am willing to be able to make the investment in yourself. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. Detach from the outcome, focus on becoming. Be world class. This is the highest paying skill set. He also says, dominate. Give the gift to the world of who you are. And it starts with believing in you more than you believe in your products, more than you believe in your company. You have to believe in you. Shock your system. Do something out of the ordinary. Step into your full potential. So I would like us to all unmute, and I'd like you to repeat these couple of things after me. If you can unmute, unmute. So the first one is, I am enough.
I am enough.
One more time. I am enough.
I am enough.
I belong here.
I belong here.
I belong here.
I belong here.
I am amazing.
I am amazing.
One more time, all together.
I am amazing. Yay, Zaya, so wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Asking me when you guys first texted Tal and I was like, huh? I was like, okay, say yes, I can do this. I can do this.
You did amazing. You're a born teacher, actually. You are a born teacher. So thank you for saying yes and then figuring out how to do it later. Yeah, I'm excited by what you shared. There were a lot of aha moments for me in my note taking. Yeah, that we sell happiness. I was like,
Yes.
wow, we do sell happiness. That's what we do. It was so true. And be angelical about your cause. So let's everyone remute themselves again. Thank you so much. So I was thinking about that because I was on with a friend right before this who I've been prospecting for many years now. And she's very stubborn and has all kinds of reasons about why she can't do this program. Okay. She got a diagnosis of some serious heart condition. I can't remember exactly what it was called. And so, and she's been watching me on the social network. She's like, you look amazing, Stephanie. I'm like, thank you. You know, and I always say to people, there's a reason why I look amazing. If you think I look amazing, there's a reason why. It's these products. Okay. And so she said, I want to meet with you. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Yeah, let's meet. So we're chatting today. And you know, one of the things I know, you guys, is that there are multiple comorbidities of COVID-19. Okay. She has two of them, a heart condition, and she's obese. I'm like, so Carrie, you know, for me, it was the cancer diagnosis. That's what had me leave eating fried foods, sugar, and cow dairy and pork regularly. Okay. Like I was eating those things regularly. So I was unpacking all of that for her today. And I found myself, I started swearing. And I know when I swear, I really care. And you know what? It was from my swear. And I don't usually swear with people, but there was something I knew she could take it, you know? And so right after I swore, I used the F word. She was like, okay, I get it. Let's do it. So as I was listening at the end, Zaya, to what you were sharing, here's what I want to ask of us all, myself included. We need to become health leaders. We need to become wealth leaders. Why? Personally, I didn't grow up with a health leader or a wealth leader. I'm learning everything I know right now. And one of the things I'm really clear about in becoming a health leader is we don't have a lot of great health leaders out there telling us how to be healthy. We're the ones we've been waiting for. We're the ones our friends have been waiting for. We're the ones our community has been waiting for. We have to show up and help them understand how to be healthy. Okay? We don't have to be doctors to do that. We don't have to be nurses to do that. We don't even need to have a coaching certificate behind our name to do that. Many of us have been doing this for several years now. We know what we know. We know what we know. And we must stand in that influence. Okay? The other thing that we are being asked to become is a wealth leader. What does that mean to become a wealth leader? I've been on the road to becoming a wealth leader for decades now, in addition to the health, understanding prosperity, understanding abundance, understanding the spiritual nature of wealth so that I could understand how to attract and manifest money in my life. Okay. Now I get to do both those things with my team. I get to help them manifest health and I get to help them manifest wealth. And for those who are my customers, I get to help them manifest health. Okay. So you get to decide and you get to explore, what does it mean to be a wealth leader? What does it mean to be a health leader? And then raise your voice, tell your story, raise your voice, tell your story. I love that. Become evangelical about your cause. Get more on fire. Zaya, when you told your story about CBD the other day, that got you a bunch of sales. It got you an interview with our crown Rachel, you know, like and Glenneth as well. You got interviewed by Glenneth. So it's like, when we tell our story, when I make shakes here in the kitchen, people, they want to know, what is the fulvic zeolite you're putting in your shake right now? You know, I think I might have heavy metals in my body. It's just like, I'm just making a shake. Rachel said, make a shake and upload a post. So I'm so glad that we're doing Widen Your Reach again. I wasn't on the call yesterday, and Tal, I know you had something that you wanted to share as well. So there's a couple things I want to go over before we close out here. If you can stay a little bit after the hour, that would be amazing, because we've got a few more things to talk about in terms of Renew You. Tal has something that she wants to do for us. And then if you were on the call yesterday, I want to hear from you about what was shared yesterday. Go for it, Tal.
Yeah, great presentation, Zaya. Thank you, Stephanie. I loved sort of being in this tit for tat kind of limbo with you this weekend, because I was just not as prepared as I wanted to be to focus in on the GoPro weekend. And you were just such a great cheerleader for me. And like, did you hear that? You got to get on now. It was so great to be working with you on that and to really get some great nuggets from you today. So I really appreciate you being on. I would say, I mean, a lot of what Eric always shares is just really gold. And he has such a great way of delivering such motivational speak. Right. And he really sort of, he hits so many people in the right place. Like his tone, his presence, the way his suit fits him, his fabulous shiny shoes. He's just, you know, calm and serious. And I just love his delivery. And one of my favorite parts, I did get to tune in for a lot of it, but one of my favorite parts on Saturday was he gave an example. So I'm going to ask, I want one person to come off mute, and I'm going to use you as a volunteer. So give me a volunteer. Let's go. Who's coming? Who's doing it? Nirankar. There we go. Fantastic. I love it. So I have a question for you. Let's say that you and I were neighbors here in California. Okay. And because I just don't know what the proximity of things are where you live. So let's just say you and I are here in California, and I gave you the task of driving to Las Vegas. Okay. To get to Las Vegas from my house is about 4 or 5 hours, depending on the traffic. All right. So if I said to you, I'll give you $10 to drive from my house to Las Vegas and come back. All you have to do is just get to Vegas. As soon as you get there, you get handed a $10 bill. You don't have to say anything. Just say, hi, my name is Nirankar. But someone's going to hand you a $10 bill. You're going to turn around and you're going to come back. Right? So a 10-hour round trip. Would you do it?
No.
Right? Kind of a waste of your time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I told you I'd give you $100, you just have to pull up and flash you a $100 bill right there. Would you do it?
No.
No, right? Still not worth your time, huh? Okay. What if I told you I gave you $1,000, $1,000 in cash? Drive 5 hours. You have to pay for your gas. You drive 5 hours to get there. It's going to cost you a whole tank of gas, and California does have expensive gas. And then you have to drive back. $1,000 in your hand. Boom. Would you do it?
No. I need something to do in Vegas.
I love it. This is just a round trip. That's it. We're not hanging out. We're not going to put it in the slots. We're not, throwing it out on the tables. Yeah, no, it's just a round trip. Yeah, you're kind of a little bit thinking about it, but you're not quite there yet, right? It's like not quite there. Okay. What if I told you, Nirankar, all you had to do was drive from my house to the parking lot of the MGM and drive right back for $100,000. 10-hour drive. Would you do it then?
I think I'd do it then. Yeah.
I think you'd do it then. It makes a big difference, right?
Yeah.
What if I told you I'd give you $1 million, but you had to do it under 3 hours?
Drive 10 hours under 3 hours.
You have to get to Vegas parking lot in 3 hours for $1 million.
And it's what, a 4 hour drive?
It's a 4-hour drive, but you got to figure out however you need to get there by, right now it's 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. By 4 o'clock today, you have to get there, and I'm going to hand you a suitcase of $1 million.
I would do my best to
Do your best. You do everything you possibly could, right? Right? Okay, so now to everyone, what if I told everyone on this Zoom right now that I'd give you, all right, I'm going to expand the time a little bit. I'm going to give you 5 hours to get from where you are to get to the parking lot of the MGM Grand, and I'm going to give you $10 million, but you have to be the first one there. How quickly are you going to figure it out? Right? Here's the point, Nirankar. The money is there for you. It's waiting. You got to get there fast.
Wow.
If you want it to be worth it for you, you got to get there fast. Or it's just $10. What's the worth in that? Get it? I freaking love that. That's my piece from GoPro.
Phenomenal.
Peace out, Team Alchemy.
Thank you, Tal. That was great. Oh my gosh, so great. Yeah. If you're gonna do it, you got to go there fast. Success loves speed. We hear that over and over and over again in this business. So, and we can see what's going on with you and your mom. You're getting your own momentum. It's happening. So, I would like to pivot now, and I'd like to hear from one of you that was on the Money Map call yesterday, because I was not, and I haven't checked out the email. I was in travel mode yesterday. So Estelle, Amelia, Gleneth, Tanya, Deborah, Tal, or Zaya, who was on the Money Map call yesterday? Nobody. What?
I was.
Okay. All right.
I don't
Bring
know if I remember everything, but go ahead, shoot.
So what was shared yesterday that was meaningful or landed for you, stuck with you, Gleneth?
Well, they're all meaningful. You know, the nuts and bolts of what's happening in the company is always meaningful, but particularly the widen the reach is open to everyone now, and at least till January, I think, and that can make a big difference in your volume. It also translates to your upline, so there's incentive to develop that even with your downline. Widen your reach for everyone, not just fast start people. So that was the thing that was the newest, anyhow, that stuck out to me. Because I was doing that quite a bit before, you know, they got rid of it. And now it's just for, you know, new people during the fast start. So it's an opportunity to what, focus up for the holidays and build your team. With a clear message, obviously, you want to be as clear as possible. Some of this just shared there, Zaya, was very rich. There's some diamonds in that. So thank you again.
Yeah, so that's exciting. So widen your reach has come back, and it's time for us all to get out in front again. I know that I've definitely taken the pedal off the gas where it comes to when it comes to going live and sharing from my heart. Even, you know, yeah, even with my Wednesdays, I stopped over the last couple of weeks doing my my Wednesday Radiant Living lives. So I love that. I love that they're bringing that back. And was there anything else, Tal, you were there, was there anything else that was shared that was remarkable or that stood out for you on that Money Map call?
It was a really big session of questions, which was really great that they always, Debbie always opens up the floor at the end for questions. It was really just a review of our promotions, of what's going on with the UBT, the Widen Your Reach, the Diamond Dash,
Okay.
the declaration. Y'all need to make your declaration. Today's the 7th. Need to make
Yeah.
your declarations by the 10th, the latest. And so it was really just a review. There was no updates, nothing new, no new
Okay.
products. Peppermint
Okay,
bar
cool.
protein are still there.
Okay, cool.
Well, with the declarations, she did say that now you can declare to re-rank as well as ranking. And if you declared a rank and you didn't make it, but you re-ranked, then she was still going to give you points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it always, that's how it's been. The
Okay.
declaration.
Is it? Okay, because I hadn't heard that before.
Mhm.
They also, there's more product portfolios out there for us, like there's the Heart Aid. And so they had a lot more of that out there for us to share.
Beautiful. So, so a couple things I want to talk about, and then we're going to depart. So, and thank you for staying past the hour. The Renew You transformation is coming up. There's going to be an info Zoom. I believe it's the 13th, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have my phone in front of me. There's going to be two. There's one on the 13th, and then there's another one right after Christmas. And so we want to be inviting folks to that. I like that we're doing that because we're doing the Sunday night wealth focused every Sunday night. So it's kind of nice to have a health focused gathering coming up on the 13th. And by the way, our wealth focused gatherings are very successful, everybody, on Sunday nights. I'm blown away by what's going on with our team in terms of who's showing up and who people are inviting. So I want to encourage you all to keep inviting every Sunday night. Rachel and I, 5 to 5:30 on the nose, which is 30 minutes, wham, bam, we're done. Okay. So did you have a question, Gleneth?
Well, I just wanted to throw in that the thing on the, whatever it is, this Sunday and the following Sunday also includes a $530 giveaway. So that's huge, right? People think they can win that's
What includes a $530 giveaway?
our what we're doing, the group. Yeah.
The Renew You.
The Renew You. That's not the Sunday one. Yeah.
No,
So,
the Superfood Social giveaway.
yeah, that's the Superfood Social giveaway. The Sunday experience is the Team Alchemy. It's Rachel's and my team. Yeah. So
Is that in conflict with our business one?
no, we don't do a giveaway there.
No, but I mean the times. Is that in conflict?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not in conflict. No, at least I don't think it is. But I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah.
The 13th is a Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Yeah. Superfood Social decided to stop doing stuff on Sundays. Yeah, they were doing it Sundays at like 1 or 4. I don't know. Anyways. So the other thing I want to share is that what got hatched in LA the other day, and of course, Rachel got on board with this immediately. I texted her, is we're going to start a 90-day run in January. 90-day run. What does that mean? It means you're in action. It means you're prospecting. It means you're showing up as an evangelist for health and wealth. It means that you are doing Widen Your Reach. It means that you're prospecting. And it also means that you're prospecting. But wait, it actually means you're prospecting regularly.
A mini marathon.
Yeah, we can do a mini marathon. I'm sure we'll do mini marathons. So stay tuned for more information about that. Stay tuned for more information about night owls. And any final thoughts there, Zaya?
Yeah, I actually have in my notes, he did a whole rundown of what to do for a 90-day run, like a pre-launch and all that stuff. So I'd love to share that at some point before we started.
Ooh, yeah. See, you're coming in front of the team way more often now, girl. It's happening. It's on.
Yes.
Now we just got to get you a team that you can be presenting in front of. Okay. That's what we're going to do. All right. For all of you, have a team here that's going to be learning, not just you. It's great that you're here, but we need your team here with you. That's how you're going to make some serious money with Purium. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here today. Mwah. Go out and have a blessed day.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Thank you, Zaya. Thank you, Tal. Thank you, Gleneth, Neer and Cara. for
Adios.
participating. Bye, Steph. Ciao, ciao. Bye, Deborah.